Hey everybody, how's it going today? So today we have Deciding Artemis's Fate in No Man's Sky. Now this is part of the first Traveler mission, and it's a really interesting story. Like, if you guys ever get a chance to play the game or to really pay attention to the missions while you're playing, like the game is crazy. And, like, it's very depressing, and this decision is actually really, like, morally questionable. Like, I honestly had to think about what I was gonna do with Artemis, because you get two choices to what you do with him, and I won't go into detail about that, but I will just say that there are two choices that you get, and I honestly kind of struggled with it for a minute. Like, I chopped down the footage a lot because I had to think about it pretty hard on what I was gonna do with him, and honestly, it still kind of bugged me. I don't know if I did the right thing, but anyways, it's a really good story. It's really kind of depressing. Just because at this point we know that our lives as a traveler so far are pointless, because there's so many worlds out there in the galaxies that we will never see them in our lifetime, basically, is what they said. And so right now the story is like super depressing, and we know that Artemis is actually technically dead, but there's a way to bring him back, and we're actually trying to figure out, alright, how do we bring him back? And that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys kind of watch this clip. I'm going to be back a little bit later, just kind of explain why I choose the way that I chose. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, let me know what you guys would do in this kind of situation, because I'm honestly curious. Okay, guys, so I've done all this, like I've explained to him what all is going on, and now he sees Artemis's soul, and I've got to choose. I can either upload him to a simulation where they can live on, or I can end his suffering. Now, I do ask about, the simulation, if there is another way. We'll go ahead and this is just, he tells me that it would feel joy at the things it experienced, but if they should learn of their fate, it would cause them great pain, basically. And it was such a hard decision. So there's basically no other way. It's either I can end his suffering or I can do the simulation. And now, on one hand, yes, he would live on, but if by chance, it would be a fake world. It would be like how we found him, and we found him searching for others and alone, and so he would we would put him in the simulation. He would basically be repeating his life over and over and over again that he so desperately wants to get out of, because he just doesn't want to be alone, because eventually he's going to realize, I'm the only being here. What do I do? There's nobody else around me. And so he's going to look for help. He's going to go searching. And so it's a hard decision, because we can either upload him or we can let him die. And all of that, he can finally be at peace. And I do decide to let him die. I kill our friend Artemis, because morally I couldn't do it. I could not, I personally would not want to be put into a simulation. And I assume he wouldn't have any of the memories that he has currently of us or anything. So he'd be right back where he started when we found him. And so I couldn't do that to him. I decided that I would end his suffering, so that way he could really actually be at peace with himself. He can be one with Atlas, I guess, if you want to call it that. I'm not too sure how their religions all work exactly, but they all follow Atlas, it seems. But yeah, let me know what you guys would do in that situation. Would you put him into a simulation, or would you end his suffering? Because I want to go back and redo it and put him in the simulation, because I do want to know what happens. I want to know how this guy talks. And our friend Apollo here tells us, what we did wasn't wrong. It was the right thing to do, because now he's not suffering. So I feel like we've made the right decision here, but at the same time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because at that point in time, we couldn't ask Artemis what he would have wanted. We couldn't pull Artemis out of the mind arc and be like, hey, do you want to live in a simulation where you're basically alone and you're going to suffer if you ever find out what your existence is? Or do you want to die? And so I decided to just let him die, but let me know what you guys think, and let me know how you feel about the story of this game, because it's, to me, I find this game to be extremely depressing, but it's a very intriguing game, and so I definitely recommend playing it, not just for the gameplay, but for the story itself. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and stay tuned for more.